Hello and welcome to Pisgah Health Today. My name is Angela Owen and it's my privilege to host this program brought to you by the Pisgah Health Foundation. The Pisgah Health Foundation is a public 501c3 charity founded in 2019 by a board of 7 caring individuals committed to improving the health, wellness, and lives of Western North Carolina residents. Our special guest today is Mandy Haycox. She serves as the Executive Director of Haywood Pathways Center. Welcome to our program today, Mandy. Mandy's prior experience, she worked at Asheville Buncombe Christian Community Ministries, where she served both as the Steadfast House Director and before that as the Veterans Restoration Quarters Senior Case Manager. She also has experience at Wake Interfaith Hospitality Network and with the Family HUD Housing as a case manager in Urban Ministries of Durham. Her education includes a divinity school. She went to Duke Divinity School where she got her master's. She attended UNC Chapel Hill where she received a master's of social work, direct practice with families, and then her Bachelor of Arts in Psychology from Texas Lutheran University. Mandy, we're thrilled to have you with us today. Why don't you start by telling us a little bit about Haywood Pathways Center?
Sure. So Haywood Pathways Center is an emergency shelter for men, women, and families experiencing homelessness in Haywood County. That's our primary objective. We've been around for about 6 years. Prior to that, the only services for those experiencing homelessness in Haywood County was a seasonal overnight camp sort of thing for cold weather. And our sheriff realized that next door to the sheriff's department was the empty Hazelwood prison that had been vacant for 7 years. And he had a lot of people who were coming in and out of jail, largely for substance use and mental health issues, and thought there has to be a different way to do this because we can't arrest our way out of these issues. And so saw the building next door, it was empty, thought, what can we do about that? Talked to community leaders, faith leaders. Long story short, Haywood Pathway Center wins a Facebook contest that was a voting contest throughout the whole country, and Little Waynesville won. And so, Ty Pennington came, and there was a grant for seed money. And so we flipped the prison from a place where people were to go for punishment to a place of restoration. So over 6 years, we've grown from providing basic services of food and shelter to now we still feed the hungry, house the homeless, and work to reduce recidivism. But those programs have expanded to include a case management program that is person-centered, that works off a template to where each person makes their own goal with their case manager. And we focus on income housing, life skill development, social support, spirituality, and what is your stability? So what are your mental health, physical health, and sobriety look like? And then we've expanded from just sheltering men to then including women. And now we in June of 2019 opened our dorm that allowed us to shelter moms with kids who are homeless. And just in December, our board voted to allow that to include single fathers and parents with kids so that we can meet the increasing needs. So we're really excited about that. The reducing recidivism piece, that's just kind of taken on a life of its own. So we now have, as of a couple weeks ago, 3 employees within the jail. And so one of them is a peer support specialist, and the other one is a certified alcohol and drug counselor. And then we just hired on our LCSW social worker. And so what we're able to do there is work directly with the inmates. So as they come in and identify that substance use and mental health issues are the main reason for their continued cycle through jail, they're able to work with them and their attorneys and really just kind of figure out how can we get people treatment and address the root issues rather than utilizing jail over and over and over again. And so that has been a wonderful program. 99% of the people who come out of that who've worked with our folks are connected to recovery supports when they're released. So we're trying really hard to affect change on all ends of the spectrum.
It's really incredible. As you're talking, I keep thinking about the words repurpose. You repurpose this building
Mhm.
and you're bringing a new life to it. You mentioned the word restoration. You're bringing restoration and life along the way. And in my mind, you're also helping people to rediscover their own purpose as they're coming through that recovery focus. So it's incredible just to hear you talk about, and what a wonderful win that was for Waynesville to get this
Yes.
ball rolling and starting on all of that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Mandy, how has Pisgah Health Foundation particularly helped Haywood Pathways Center?
Sure. So once we opened our family dorm, we have a family case manager just for those 10 families. And we also are pretty dedicated across all that we do to have peer support specialists who are qualified, who have been through the situations our residents have been through, to be on staff. And so we were able to also, the person who's there most of the time with them is a peer support specialist. We also, in 2018, when we got the original grant for the staff in the jail, were able to include with that a resident employment specialist who specifically works with our residents just to help them connect with employment and to work with employers in the area to kind of break down some of those barriers of the stereotypes about homeless people. And so what the Pisgah Health Foundation grant has allowed us to do is to carry on our family peer support specialist. So she is still there. She's doing great and she's getting more training as she goes. And so it provides a lot of stability for families who, that's really helpful when you're in complete chaos and in a brand new situation to know that every day you're going to the same person and you know what to expect. And then it's also helped us with our resident employment specialist to be able to keep that going. We had to lay that person off for COVID and we're hoping to bring them back this month. And that has, I mean, you can see our numbers drastically change when we have that position filled and when we don't. But with it, we're able to help folks upwards of 50% be employed. And of those folks who are working, over 80% are working full time. So it's definitely something that's valuable and it makes a big difference and helps us help people move into permanent housing from pathways.
It's a beautiful story. I'm a firm believer that when we have constructive and productive work, we're really helping to fulfill purpose and part of why we were designed and built to start with. And so I just love what you're describing there, and really excited to hear that your success rate, of helping people to really find good, solid employment along the way. Mandy, what else would be important for our viewers to know? How can they come alongside you, support the work that you're doing, get involved in any capacity?
Sure. So I think one of the biggest things that is helpful is to learn about homelessness and to learn about who is homeless and to really combat those stereotypes within yourself and within the community. I really believe that when the eviction moratorium brought on by COVID ends, we're going to see a whole different side of homelessness than we have before. And it's going to challenge a lot of those stereotypes and it's going to challenge our communities to meet the need. So I would say first and foremost, that's really important. Um, if you would like to become involved with Pathways or learn more about us, we have our website, and that's haywoodpathwayscenter.org. And on there, there is information about the program. There's an application online to be able to volunteer with us. Right now, our volunteer opportunities are a bit limited because of COVID, but we are going to get back there. And then there's also a place to donate online. We are having our third annual Empty Bowls event on February 25th. And that we've made COVID style, so it's drive-through, but you still get all of the benefits of it. Um, and then if you have it within you, if you would just pray for us for sanity and for for strength, and especially for the folks that we serve. I mean, COVID's been difficult for everyone, but imagine doing that without a stable place to stay. And that's just been really difficult for a lot of people.
Well, Mandy, the work that you and your staff and team are doing is absolutely incredible. It's very amazing. And on behalf of the Pisgah Foundation Board of Directors, let me just say thank you for the tremendous work. And I can only imagine the challenges, last year and since COVID, it's been challenging across the world. But to your point, I'm grateful I have a stable home, et cetera, and so forth. And so really, really thankful for what you and your team are doing and for taking time to join us today as you're balancing the other responsibilities of, mom at home while daughter is in school. And so really, really grateful that you took time to be here today. And it was really a pleasure just getting to know you a little bit and learning about Haywood Pathways Center.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Of course. We also want to say thank you to Wildflower Media for their creative and technical support. And thank you to the Pisgah Health Foundation Board of Directors and staff, as well as the Physicians Roundtable. All of these people doing amazing work to help support our community here in Western North Carolina. If you like this story and you would like to support this and other stories like this, let me encourage you to go to pisgahhealthinsiders.org and join the movement. Until we see you on the next Pisgah Health Today, stay well and be well.